Greetings, traveler. Skyrim gives you dragons, magic, and 9 unique shields. Today we rank them all, from C tier to S. Enjoy watching. Alright, first up in C tier, Roggi's Ancestral Shield. This thing is more of a family keepsake than an actual weapon. You get it from a side quest in Kynesgrove. Roggi Notbeard asks you to bring back his lost shield. The game sends you into one of a few random caves like Ancestral or Stony Creek. When you return it, Roggi can even follow you as a companion, or marry you. Cute, but not really powerful. And the shield itself? It's just an iron shield. Armor rating 20, weighs 12, worth about 60 gold. You can improve it with an iron ingot, but it doesn't scale with any smithing perks. So no secret power hiding here. Practically it's fine for the very early game, but after that it's just a collector's item. You can actually get it back later, either through Roggi's follower inventory or picking it up in Steamscorch Mine. But honestly, why would you bother? Visually, it's the same as a normal iron shield. No glow, no rune, no unique design. It's easy to find, easy to forget. That's why it sits in C tier. Functionally weaker than the B tier shields, which at least give you resistances or bleed effects. This one? It's all about the story, not the stats. Next in C tier, Hrolfdir's shield. And honestly, this one is even more of a museum piece than Roggi's. You don't find it in the wild, you get it during a quest in Markarth. The Jarl gives you a radiant job to retrieve his father's shield, and once you bring it back, it just stays in the family. No secret stats, no unique effects, no reward for keeping it yourself. Pure quest flavor. In terms of numbers, it's just another steel shield. Same model, same armor rating, nothing special at all. No enchantments, no smithing perks, nothing that makes it stand out. Practically, you can't even really use it. The moment you hand it over, it's gone. The only way it matters is as a tiny lore nod to Markarth's history. Visually, looks like every other steel shield in the game. No runes, no carvings, no unique color scheme. If Roggi's was at least a personal relic, Hrolfdir's is literally background clutter. That's why it also sits in C tier. A shield with no effect, no value, and no use beyond a single quest line. At least Roggi's can follow you home. This one just disappears. Next up in B tier, the Dawn-God Rune Shield. This one is a relic from the Dawn-God side. You get it through one of Florentius's lost relic jobs. Bring the shield back, and it's yours. Here's the fun part. While you hold block, the shield creates a sun aura around you. It pulses with holy light and burns undead, especially vampires. Do a power bash, and the circle flares out even wider. In crypts and vampire lairs, it's a walking get-out sign. Practically, it's situational but strong. Against living enemies, it's just a decent heavy shield. Against undead, it turns you into a moving hazard. Hold the line, keep the aura up, watch Draugr sizzle. If you love clearing crypts without swinging every second, this is satisfying. Visually, it fits the Dawn-God vibe. Etched runes, a bright sunburst when the aura kicks in. Like a portable shrine of Stendarr. That's why I put it in B tier. More impact than the Shield of Solitude in its niche, but less versatile than Auriel's Shield or Spellbreaker. Great in the right dungeon, not an all-purpose pick. Alright, moving up to B tier, the Shield of Solitude. This one at least feels like a proper reward. You earn it after helping the Jarl of Solitude during the Wolf Queen Awakened quest. When you bring peace back to the city, Falk Firebeard gives you the shield as a token of gratitude. The lore fits. Solitude's proud god, proud reward. Gameplay wise, it's a steel shield base, but with a solid enchant. It boosts your magic resistance by up to 30%, and block effectiveness by up to 35%. Sounds amazing, right? Well, the catch is you can't improve it properly at the grindstone. The enchant stays stuck at whatever level you got it. Practically, it's a strong mid-game shield if you need magic defense. But later on, it gets overshadowed, because once you try Spellbreaker, this one feels outdated. Visually, it does look nice. Polished steel, tied to Solitude's legacy. A bit more ceremonial than Roggi's or Hrolfdir's. That's why I place it in B tier. Better than pure lore items, but not strong enough to reach A or S. Next up in B tier, the Targe of the Blooded. Now this one is actually fun. You can find it in Alftand, deep in the Dwemer ruins. It's carried by Yumana, one of the 2 adventurers fighting over the expedition's treasure. Defeat her, and the shield is yours. So right away, it feels like a trophy from a little story encounter. Gameplay wise, it's an iron shield, but here's the twist. Every shield bash you do causes bleeding damage. That bleed stacks if you keep bashing, so you can whittle down even tough enemies just by staggering and bleeding them out. In practice, it's not the strongest for raw defense, but if you like an aggressive playstyle, shield bash into bleed, shield bash again, it's a blast. Against big health bars, it's Skyrim's version of death by 1,000 cuts. Visually, it stands out. Big spikes on the front, rough Dwemer-inspired look. It actually looks like a weapon as much as a shield. That's why I put it in B tier. Not reliable enough to climb higher, but unique, stylish, and fun. A real cult favorite among players who love bashing everything in sight. Now we're climbing into A tier, and this is where things get really interesting. Auriel's Shield. You'll find it during the Dawn-God DLC, hidden deep in the Forgotten Val. It's guarded by a Falmer warmonger, so you'll have to push through some nasty encounters to claim it. But once you do, it's one of the most unique shields in the game. Here's how it works. Every time you block, the shield stores that energy. After enough hits, Your next shield bash releases a massive knockback that can send enemies flying across the room. And let's be real, nothing beats punting Draugr off a cliff. Practically it's amazing in crowd control. Turtle up, take some hits, then boom, one bash, and the room is clear. It doesn't replace Spellbreaker's defense, but for sheer fun, Auriel's shield is hard to beat. Visually it's gorgeous, golden, radiant, in the same divine style as Auriel's bow. Looks and feels like a relic of the gods. That's why it sits in a tier. Not the most reliable every day, but unique, powerful, and one of the flashiest shields Skyrim has to offer. Next in A tier, the Shield of Ysgramor. This one's pure Nord legend. You find it in Ysgramor's tomb, at the very end of the companion's questline. After you cure Kodlak's spirit and finish that journey, the shield rests as a final reward, a relic of the man who first led the Nords into Skyrim. Stat-wise, it's a heavy shield with a solid armor rating. Plus, it gives you an extra 20 points of health and 20% resistance to magic. Simple, but reliable. In practice, it's perfect for tank builds. Extra health, more resist. It stacks well with heavy armor. Less flashy than Auriel's shield, but more dependable. If you're roleplaying a true Nord warrior, this is your shield. Visually, it's exactly what you'd expect. A big, round Nordic shield, carved and ancient. Feels like Skyrim's history in your hands. That's why I put it in A tier. Not the strongest mechanically, but iconic, reliable, and one of the best roleplay shields in the game. Now we've reached S tier, and no surprises here, Spellbreaker. This is one of the Daedric artifacts of Peryite. You get it after finishing his quest, The Only Cure. Once you fight through his followers and bring the ingredients, Peryite rewards you with this shield, and it's absolutely worth it. What makes it special? Well, every time you block, it projects a ward that absorbs up to 50 points of spell damage, and it doesn't cost magicka, infinite spell protection just by holding block. In practice, this makes Spellbreaker the ultimate answer to mages and dragons. You can laugh in the face of a fireball, or stand against dragon breath like it's nothing. For a warrior, that's game-changing. Visually, it's stunning. Dwemer bronze, mechanical design, glowing power. It looks ancient, it feels powerful, and it plays exactly that way. That's why Spellbreaker is locked in at S tier. Not just strong, it changes how you fight. Against magic-heavy enemies, nothing beats it. And finally, to close out S tier, the Aetherial Shield. This one comes from the Dawnguard DLC, as part of the Lost to the Ages quest. After forging the Aetherium shards, you get to pick your prize. Choose the shield, and you'll see why it's here. The effect is wild. Every bash makes the enemy ethereal for 15 seconds. They can't hit you, you can't hit them, but they're gone from the fight. Instant crowd control. Too many enemies? Bash one, focus on the rest. Or just yeet a giant into the void for a laugh. Practically, it's not about defense, it's about control. You're bending the flow of combat, deciding who stays and who goes. Spellbreaker shuts down magic, Aetherial Shield shuts down everything else. Visually, it's gorgeous. Blue Aetherium crystal fused with Dwemer metal glowing with power. It looks magical, and it plays magical. That's why Aetherial Shield joins Spellbreaker in S tier. Together they are the kings of Skyrim's shields. And that's every unique shield in Skyrim, ranked from C to S. From forgotten relics to divine artifacts that change how you fight. Do you agree with my ranking? Or would you put Auriel's in S? Or drop Ysgramor's lower? Let me know in the comments. I want to hear your list. Thanks for watching and... bye.